Minasan, ohayo gozaimasu.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
Hi, this is Mark Marin.
Greg Taylor.
And
Gerard
our special guest, Gerard Grillo. So, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. So thank you for coming. Now, what we're doing today, we are bringing you Musings from Japan, number
15.
15.
Now, I'm pretty sure it's 15, so just in case it isn't,
could be
my
16.
apologies.
Yeah.
No, it's not 16. I know for sure it's not.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Maybe 14 then, or we'll call it 14.
I think it's 15. Let's say it's 15.
14.5 and higher. Okay, 15 it is. Okay. And we, like I said, we have a special guest, Gerard Grillo. And what we'll do is we're going to, this is in the continuing series of bringing guests that live in our area and grill them on their experience here in Japan and share with all of you out there why we're here. And,
Hence, Musings from Japan.
That's right. It's Musings from Japan, and we're definitely not here because we're escaping the police or anything like that. Right, Greg?
That's right. No, I don't think any police are after me.
I can't say that, but okay. But we'll go from there. Hi. Okay. So let's first. Okay, Mr. Gerard Grillo. I want to say that I've known Gerard now. Let's see, off and on, 10 years.
Yeah.
About 10 years. And actually, Gerard, you've been here a long time. So why don't we give you the floor?
That would be great.
Introduce yourself, where you're from, and how long you've been here, and we'll go from there.
Okay. I'm from Connecticut. I moved all around. I lived in, I've spent the majority of my life, born and grew up in Connecticut. I moved to Maryland. I moved to California. And how I came to Japan was I was engaged for 5 years to a lovely woman with whom I'm still friends, believe it or not. And that fell apart, and I decided to run away to Japan for a year and sort of figure out my life. And I decided that I discovered I really liked teaching, and I thought, oh, well, this is neat. I actually like to go to work every day, and I look forward to it. I mean, I always worked hard and I was successful, but I really wanted to go. And I thought, oh, well, this is how come nobody told me this? Everybody said that's the secret to life. I'm like, well, ain't nobody told me, you got to like your work. So anyway, I ended up staying, and I went from conversation school to high school. I met my wife, and now I'm kind of cemented here, I guess, with the wife and the house and the kid and the career. But I was only going to stay a year and kind of figure out life and go back, and ended up staying.
Exactly how I felt when I came here. I'll stay a year, figure out my life, and then go back. 30 years later, I'm still here figuring it out.
Yeah.
So, okay, and then Connecticut, you say Connecticut, let's get specific. Where's your hometown in Connecticut?
My hometown is a little town of Niantic. It's probably not on the map, but it's like 10 minutes away from New London, which definitely is on the map. New London is a historical port. At one point was one of those rich cities. It's one of those cities where you see all these big, huge, gorgeous houses that used to be from people in the shipping industry, and now they've been divided up into apartments, like that kind of a town.
Oh, okay.
It's, past its heyday in a lot of ways, but in some ways it's still beautiful. My father grew up there, and my grandfather came from Italy to New London, Connecticut with his new wife and nothing but a 6th grade education and his carpentry skills.
Wow.
So through Ellis Island, I assume, then one of the immigrants. It's nice to have someone from the East Coast talk about this.
Yeah, this is great.
My relatives just kind of like walked across the border. Anyway, Greg, we never asked, how did your relatives get into America?
Well, we all have two sides, to our branches. But on my father's side, we did a family history thing, and it looks like they came originally from Switzerland.
Ooh.
And so I have a German Swiss background on my father's side. What's interesting is my great grandmother, my father's grandmother, on my grandmother's side, she was born in Iowa in 1877, and I knew her when I was a small child. I think I was
Small.
7 or yes, I was certainly small.
Yeah.
She passed away in 1971, I believe.
So you must have been just like 8.
Yeah, she was
7.
94. My great grandmother was, I was 7 years old. So she was 94 years old when she passed away, and because she was born in 1877, and she came from Iowa in a wagon train to Idaho, and so that branch of the family were all Idaho pioneers.
Wow. So you got the Midwest. You got the Midwest covered. Gerard's got the East Coast, and I got the south, the border with Mexico covered.
Yeah, and sometime I could tell you those stories, because there's on that branch of the family, there's a lot of interesting history.
What we can do the next time is we'll bring Anders on, because he's got that up in that Maine.
Actually, so do I. Anders is from Anders is from Vermont.
Right.
But my family's from Vermont, and part of my family on my mother's side is a Canadian Indian called Sayer Indian.
We got it. We got the borders covered. We got all the borders covered.
Yeah.
All right. We'll have the border musings later on. So, okay. Well,
well, it's great to have you on, Gerard.
And so you came from Connecticut, and you discovered that you liked teaching. But what was your major originally? What was your first?
Oh, well, I didn't finish school right away. I left when I was 21 or 22, and I had changed my major 3-4 times, from performing arts to business to this to that. And I finally decided I had to go back. And so when I went back and I was 28, the guy said, well, you're the same distance away from an English major or a business major. And the thought of writing really long papers was not a pleasant one for me. So I chose business, but I regret it, because later on when I did my master's work, and I had to write the big, long 20, 30, 50-page papers, I actually came to enjoy it and be good at it. And some of my teachers even said, well, why don't you be a writer for a living? So I wished I'd kind of started that earlier. But, the thing that I ran away from was the thing I should have been running to, which I probably can cite more than one instance of that in my life, which I don't know if I will, but.
No, well, yeah, we don't have to divulge secrets, but yeah, I think we're all kind of the same way.
Yeah,
Greg, you went through this similar thing, right? With our first experience in Japan, you went through a linguistics mode.
Oh, I remember when Mark and I first came to Japan in 1983. I was so enamored. I said, man, I just want to change my life, and I want to become a Japanese interpreter. And I didn't have any concept of how hard or how difficult that would be, or how much study I would have to do, or what I'd really have to do. And it was a different day technologically back then, because Japanese language resources were far less than they are today.
Oh, sure.
In terms of availability. And so we came back from Japan, and I changed. Well, after a time, I changed my major to linguistics.
Right.
Because I said, well, that's what you need to do. That's what I thought you needed to do to become an interpreter. So I did that, and it bored the hell out of me. So, and I realized after a time that it was that I need to return home to my music roots, and so I came back to music education, but I never stopped. I think I never really stopped playing my instrument, but I came back to music, and then at a later time I came to Japan at your invitation in 2004, I think it was, and Mark. And I spent the entire summer here in Japan teaching up in Tainai.
He worked at an English camp for me when I was the principal of a high school. So he was.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, I just stayed with music, and I'm poor for it. So anyway, let's go. So now Gerard, let's get back. You're in Japan, and you've been here how many years?
22.
Amazing. 22.
22 or 23, I guess. Coming up on 23, I suppose.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, because now, I'm in the 30s, you're in the 20s, and Greg's hitting the 10s coming up soon. Were you 7 years?
Well, a couple years. I'm in my this is my eighth autumn in Japan.
Right. So this is nice. Okay, let's get more specific then. So now you came to Japan, you're here, you got the masters and
yeah, the master's was online, and that was interesting for anybody who wants to know. I don't know if you can still do it, but what I did was I got my first high school job. I came in 97. I got my first high school job in 2000, and the deal was that they would hire me even though I didn't have the master's if I promised to get it. So I had to find an online program, and I did do that. And the nice thing about that was it was flexible, and anytime I needed to do an assignment, I had lots of guinea pigs around. I had lots of students to volunteer to do my practice assignments, or teachers to interview, or like we had to evaluate textbooks. And I was sending textbooks from Japan to people in other countries to analyze for a class because they didn't have any. I had boxes we were getting ready to throw away. So that was really nice. That was really nice to do that here.
Actually, I know some people who are doing their masters, and that's exactly what they're doing. Now they're using the schools themselves to, because they have an open resource of students that they can do research on and stuff.
Yep.
And now with the, what we're doing now with Zoom and all the different kinds of ways we can link up now, it's very, very easy to do this now. It's just the problem is the time. Time change, so I know people who are doing their masters like at 11 o'clock at night, until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, doing their classwork.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that wasn't Zoom, and that, I guess, is the good and the bad of it, because this is obviously more personal and engaging to sit here and talk to you like this, rather than, like for an assignment, for example, you'd have to post 3 or 4 paragraphs about a particular question. And then you'd have to read everybody else's and post on theirs with an added value comment, not just, oh, I agree. And then, the teacher would go through that, and it was good. You had to read a lot. You had to write a lot, but you didn't have to be real time at the same time. On the other hand, of course, this is much more enjoyable and personable. But, I was able to get this done in a country that didn't offer a master's degree in English. And my Japanese certainly wasn't good enough at that time to, get. So.
Well, yeah. And now I know some other people, and I think Gerard definitely knows some of the other people I'm talking about through the Nichibei Kyokai. Some people have gone. There are places now in Japan that will host it. They have connections with universities, especially in Europe, mostly the UK universities, where they'll go to a site at Ritsumeikan or ICU in Tokyo. These major universities will host it. And actually, Greg, down in your area in Aichi, there's a big university that also has a link with Leeds University. And
oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you could go there and you can do it there. And the professors, well, pre-pandemic, the professors would come there and hang out, and you can have a summer study. So you don't have to go to England to do that study stuff. And anyway, well, okay. So now, Gerard, you got the gig. You're a high school teacher. Now, I know the high schools you've taught at. I don't know if you want to mention them.
Sure. I started off at Keiwa Gakuen, and I got to give them props because they're the ones who wanted the master's degree, and I didn't have it. And they kind of made the deal with me that, if you promise to get this master's, we'll hire you without it. But, and I worked there for 12 years, and they were great. And
that's where you met Anders, I believe.
Yeah, that's where I met Anders, and which was just one of the best things to come out of it. It's where I started singing again, actually.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna throw you under the bus soon.
Branch is a different branch, but I'm just saying I started a lot of things again there, and then I left there to go to Niigata Seidio High School, and I can't say I'm quite as happy as I was at Keiwa, but there was a lot of important growth there. Just as far as learning new things and starting a new program and personal growth too, just with the difficulties of changing schools. And they were so different because KY is just, it's a very unique animal, and it's a very special. And I think probably the school I'm at now is more representative of the real world.
Yeah, in real world in Japan, definitely.
Yeah. So, which, I didn't, but then again, now I'm better versed in how to navigate that world. KY was great, but it was kind of a glass bubble, in a way. But those people, I have nothing but good things to say about them, because they gave me my start, and they, got me on through. And the only reason I got the second job was because I was able to impress them with what I learned from the first one. So, props all around to both of those schools.
Yeah. And just for all the people who are listening, all 6 or 7 of us, Gerard actually is a very respected high school teacher here in the Niigata area. And I have taught his students. I have many of your students from Keiwa as well as from Seidio, and they've always been, just very top notch, very very personable, and have very good skills.
It's because of you, Gerard, that I owe you my almost both you and Mark and Anders. I think of anybody in Japan that I owe my life to Japan to. Because as you may recall, you introduced me to my first full-time regular job here in Japan, and at a company that is no longer in business in terms of that specific division. But down in Bandai City, there was a school that I worked at, and it's because of you that I got that position, and I worked there for 2 years. And before I met my wife, and then I moved down to where she lived, and
where you live now.
Where I live now.
Yeah. So, okay, now we're going to get into the thing that because Gerard already mentioned it twice, and we're going to jump in. So you mentioned before you got your master's stuff, you were into performing arts, and then that you got into singing again when you got into KO. So you are a singer.
Yeah, I want to say this carefully, because I can, with all truthfulness, say I am a singer because I have made my living solely on being a singer. But I also want to underscore that with there weren't limousines and big record deals. I made my living as a singer and barely made rent at certain times in my life.
Hey, rent is good.
Yeah, making rent's good. I mean, there was a time, I guess the best example would be New Haven, Connecticut. I was working as a wedding singer and delivering singing telegrams and that kind of thing, but it was my only source of income. And then after that, I just decided I was tired of starving, and so I went back to school and did all of that. But I singing kind of forgot about it. And when I went to my first high school in Japan, it's a private school, and they have morning mass every day. And I was asked to sing, or somebody heard me sing, and they said, "You can sing." And I was like, it's just a hobby. And then I, finally kind of outed myself, I guess, as being a good singer. And then different things I did. I sang Kimi Gayo at a judo competition in front of thousands.
Kimi Gayo, for those friends, is the Japanese national anthem.
Oh yeah, I should throw that in.
Koka. Don't worry, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was at Nagoka, some big hall in Nagoka. I forget the name. And then just doing things here and there. And then until do you want to continue the part where I sing for you, Mark?
Yeah, of course.
I'll let you continue that.
Well, we'll both continue it. I just want to. I'll lift my camera up here. You see a poster on the wall, and I think this one above my head on this side over here. That's a poster. And actually, if you later on, I'll just stick a picture on there. But Gerard is fronting the band. Gerard is the singer of the Rise Up Big Band, and actually, we've had many singers for the Rise Up Big Band, but actually, Gerard is the most popular one because it's a. Let me just briefly say that singers especially in Niigata area, and Greg will back this up because he's played with the band and he's seen all the singers we've had. They're almost all women. I only know of 2 men singers in Niigata area. One Japanese guy who tries to do what Gerard does. He tries to do Frank Sinatra, little Nat King Cole, that kind of style, but he has no soul. But Gerard sings the Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole style for our big band, and has good soul. Man. It's like,
yeah.
When you sang at the Jazz Street, which is the picture of that poster above my head, when you sang at the Jazz Street with our big band, I got so many. The band played okay. The band made so many mistakes, and stuff. But they said, "But you're a singer." It was like they've never heard a man sing like that in Niigata City. Tokyo, you can see them, and probably Greg in your area, if there's some big bands, probably see a lot of guys who are good singers. But man, not in Niigata. So Gerard is...
Yeah, well, and it grew because I think it was one of I had met you once or twice, the kind of meet where you meet the person and you don't remember the next time you meet them, but the first time I met you as in from that point on, we would have some kind of ongoing friendship, which I'm so glad we did because you've been such a great bro. But I remember you called me and said, I think Anders recommended you. I need a singer for the Nichibei Kyokai, the Japanese American Alliance. And I said, oh, no, I'm not doing that. And you said, oh, it's just this one performance. Come on. And you can correct me if I remember wrong.
No,
because this has happened a lot, not just with you, but it's just this one thing. Oh, all right, I'll go.
That's how they get you, though. That's the hook.
Well, no, and I think Mark really meant it this time. But the thing is, then when people come up to him and start saying, "Hey, can you get that guy again?"
That's what happened. Actually, it was just a one-time gig because we were doing this American music night. I host in the Japan American Society. I'm a member of the board, the executive board. And they, of course, since I'm the only American in the society, they said, Mark, and I'm a musician. They said, Mark, could you make a music night? And I said, yeah. I said, you can sing. I said, well, I'm not a singer. I mean, I do sing, and people here are tolerated, but really, I'm not a singer. So, but I said, but I know somebody who could sing. Actually, Anders told me how well you sung. So,
actually, Mark, I beg to differ with you a little bit. I think you are a singer. I think that you are, a very good singer.
Well,
in fact, a really good singer, and I have video to prove it.
Oh man, I told you, Greg. Man, he's pulling it out on me now. Anyway,
I'll tell you. Yeah, you are correct. You are correct, though. In Niigata, there are virtually no male singers.
No, I mean,
at least of that genre, I don't feel.
That's right.
Well, no, I mean, if you're singing Japanese punk rock, there's tons of guys but really, outside of the hard rock or punk stuff that's in Niigata, and I know I used to teach those students, really there are no men. All of them are women. And like enka singers, I have students who are enka singers. I think Greg knows one of the singers.
And she was terrific.
And she's doing very well. She's not a major, but she's she's good. She's good. But you, Gerard, have a unique reputation here in Niigata, and it's really nice. And if I can get you to start singing some, bassy stuff, some Ellington kind of stuff, we'll expand your repertoire, and
awesome.
You make a nice niche here. I mean, really.
Well, anyway. I told you know better than me, because a lot of times you hand me a song and I'm like, what are you thinking with this? And then I do it and I was like, yeah, you were right. You know my range better than I do. Okay, I'm just going to shut up now and take whatever you give me. And I think there was only one song we didn't end up doing that I really would have put up a stink about, and I forget which one it was, but it was weird. But all the other stuff that you've given me, A, I loved it right away, or B, I doubted. And then I went back and totally ate crow because no, you were right. You've got this down. Yep, this is what I should be doing.
Expanding you to the Nat King Cole book was natural. I saw you got the range.
Yeah.
Frank's a little bit high for you, but you pull it off because you've got power. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, those who are watching, I have a Rise Up, the concert, the Jazz Street concert with Gerard singing, posted on my YouTube. So if you go to my YouTube site, Mark Marin, if you go to my site, there's a Rise Up at Niigata Jazz Street, and Gerard's on there, and that was your debut with us, and it's one of your best things that you ever did, and it was really nice. We had nice full band and everything. So,
yeah, it was great. It was great. I actually showed it to an art teacher at school. He's temporary there,
mm-hmm.
while there's another teacher on maternity leave. So we got this 22-year-old kid in art school filling in, and he saw it, and he said, I watched it like 10 times. I watched the concert 10 times. I watched you sing 10 times. He thought it was just so neat. So.
Yeah, it's fun, and being a foreigner here, we can get away with this. I mean, I don't think. I mean, you were a professional singer in the States, so Gerard, you probably can do this a bit. What I do in jazz, and Greg, and can speak the same thing. What we do, I probably would never get this opportunity in the States, really, unless I played the game to get into that. Because I've had such great opportunities that would have never come to me in the States.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah, no, that's true.
I can tell you that is absolutely true for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And certain things that I've done here that I would have never done back in the United States.
Yeah. And it's not like what we're doing here is very minor or very insignificant. I mean, what we're doing musically here is top notch. Actually, some of the best ensembles I've ever played in my life are here in Japan. I've played with some professionals who are trained in Europe as well as the States. I have a couple of trombone students now who are in Germany or in Austria. One guy is trying to get into the Vienna opera as a trombone player, but these are a lot of great guys here and a lot of great musicians, and we have a lot of great chance to do some good stuff here. So,
yeah, I think that too. It's I think part of it is that it's more of a novelty here because it's in English and it's not from here. But I also just think that I also think it's the culture. I think live music here is so much more appreciated. And I think that because it is, I've seen a Boy Scout troop perform at they opened up some brand new park here some years ago in Japan, and I remember, and shame on me because it was a park and they were opening it. There was a Boy Scout troop from America and they were singing just some old standards, no harmony, pretty much everybody same melody or off melody, and no electronics, no microphones. And the Japanese people were just freaking out over it. And I was thinking, what? But you know what it was? It was the live music. They just love it. They love you up there. They love the live. They love the personal contact. And here I was thinking, God, there's not any harmony. There's not even a sound system. But when I realized, the cultural connection and how they valued what was more important about it above all else, I thought, shame on me, because it was terrific.
Well, Gerard, where did you live in Southern California, or in California? I mean,
in California, I lived in Tustin, which is right next to Anaheim, where Disneyland is.
Yeah.
But it's still a little too close to LA because there were a lot of everybody wanted to be a movie star, and the joke was live out here a year, and you can tell silicone breasts from real breasts from 100 feet away. And I laughed at that joke, but by the time I left, it was actually true. And it was just California shallow, and I don't want to get on. There were a lot of great people too, but when you're near the movie industry, there were a lot of people who were, I'm a musician, and so okay, you're an aspiring musician if you're not making a living at it, or I'm an actress, some girl that had never done a movie, but she'd had a second nose job, so she considered herself an actress. And there were some nice people there too, but there was a lot of everybody you met wanted to be a star.
Talking about my hometown there.
Oh, really?
You were 1 hour away from where I grew up.
Okay.
And from where Greg lived and worked too. So,
I lived in Corona for like 7 years, and I lived in the Corona Riverside area for a total of 20 years. And prior to moving to Japan, but when I brought
freeway.
Off the 91. What I brought that up for was the fact that in California, there's I would say the opportunity, if you want to play in like a big band or something like what you're doing, it's easy because you're here in Japan, and I mean there's in Niigata, for example, there's big bands everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not like that in Southern California per se. Maybe a community college might have a big band you could play at, but it's different. And it's just here. It's just the Jazz Street, the jazz festivals they have. It's a very big thing in Niigata, and just plenty of opportunities for listening to music and for playing.
Well, I like Santa Ana better because so you've got, if I remember my geography correctly, about 45 minutes north was LA, and then 45 minutes south that was tossed in with the golf courses and the Disneyland next to Anaheim, and then but next to that was Santa Ana, which was highly Spanish speaking and a little more working class people, and it was really great. Hang on just 1 second, I've got a repairman at the house. I've got to take 1 minute.
Okay.
About it. We got a repairman at the house. Our water heater blew up yesterday.
Woo! Oh no! What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this part out because we can hear you talking to your wife. So,
okay.
so I'll put a little funky graphic in there, so no problem. So,
okay.
Anyway,
it's funny because how busy I've been lately, and every day I wake up like, if one more damn thing happens, I'm going to lose it, and I'm going to be in the funny farm. And then every day I wake up and the fucking water heater or something else, and I guess, I don't know, fate.
Musings from Japan, the R-rated version.
Do I have to bleep that? Wow.
Can you do it? Can you bleep it? Can you bleep it if you want?
Yeah, I'll make a bleep. Yeah, I'll do that. It'll be cool. Thank you, Gerard.
I was looking
for our first swear word
today, and then last night our water heater, boom, it goes out, and I'm thinking, okay, you know what? They'll probably come tomorrow, right during the middle of my interview online, which they did.
Cold shower.
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. They said we can only come at 10, which is my time with you. And I thought, damn it.
I'm surprised that they came in the morning. Because every time I try to get somebody to come out and fix whatever, it's like, when can you come? I said, can you come in the morning? The Japanese say, and they grunt and afternoon.
But you know what? My question is, see, my brother was complaining to me because he has Amazon Prime, and he lives just a block north of Universal Studios.
Yeah,
and he says, I pay for Amazon Prime, and I've ordered several things from Amazon lately, and they don't even make it within 2 days.
No, Bezos, he's holding stuff back.
And so he was complaining
Jeff
about
Bezos, right?
That's right.
I think so.
He was complaining about the poor quality of how the delivery has declined.
Oh,
and yet here in Japan, I'm expecting a delivery. I have a delivery that I didn't hear them. They knocked on my door last night, and I didn't hear it. Apparently, I don't know, but I just got a QR code, and I just set it, and I says, okay, come tonight between 6 and 8 p.m. And you know what? They're going to be here,
and they'll be there, right?
And this is Sunday.
It's Sunday.
You guys are here.
That's right. It's Sunday.
So I'm not going to complain about the time. They're here on Sunday.
Right. Sunday, and we get our mail on Sunday as well.
Yeah,
but that's going to stop soon.
Oh, that
doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me either because I don't get much on mail anymore. But yeah, the Suga, Prime Minister Suga, everyone's grandfather, as Anders would call, he was trying to reduce the cost. There's a lot of overhead cost and debt that's in the government, so they're going to cut back 1 day on the instead of having a Sunday delivery, they're going to close on Sundays now. I don't know for our friends in America. I mean, I don't remember. The Post was always closed on Sunday when I lived there.
Our entire life, it's never been open on Sunday.
It's never been open on Sundays. But Saturday, it was open.
Saturday, it's open. No, you know what?
It wasn't when I was small. Saturday, it was closed as well.
Yeah, it was closed. It was always been closed. They only have Saturday mail delivery. That's it.
Yeah,
but
that's it.
the post office. See, yeah, here in Japan, the post office physically is open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. It's open basically 9 to 5 or 9 to 6,
Mm.
9 to 5, 9 to 5.
Yeah, but and here's another thing that's interesting about Japan is that, like the police, Japan has a main city post office,
Correct.
and then they have smaller branches all over town.
Right, and then those branches are open the same hours, though.
Yeah, but my local branch, for instance, it's not open on Saturdays.
No, the main one though is open super long hours. You can go like, I don't know, it's almost like 24 hours for certain functions.
Right.
Like paying for your kid's college down payment, you can go in the middle of the night and do the bank transfer at the post office. Or
I think it's actually till 9 p.m., but not all night. But still, 9 to 9, you got full service, And on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the post office is full day Saturday, but Sunday is open till 3 here in Shibata. So, but they're going to close the Sunday thing. So, but they'll process mail, but they won't deliver on Sunday. So,
okay.
Oh, Greg's stepping out. So,
okay.
Anyway, so I have what? Greg's back. Greg, this is funky. This recording, a lot of funky edits I have to do here.
Sorry, are you talking about me?
Yeah, stepping out. It's like Greg.
Yeah. Well, look, I wanted to show you something. So, for example, which I just got. Look what I got in the mail. Check this out. You'll get a kick out of this, Gerard. Look.
I can't see it, Greg.
I'm going to change the background. Sorry, folks, but this is interesting. So I'll go to none, and sorry for the background, but look who this is from.
Oh, that's the bank. They're changing the name.
That's right. So I got to sign it. I have an account, and we have a Nagoya branch, and I went to the Nagoya branch, and I says, hey, can you change my address to Okazaki? And it says, yes, we can. So I still have an account with them.
Just so everyone knows, Daishi Bank is Niigata's number one main bank, and they have just merged with Hokuetsu Bank, which was actually Niigata's number 2 bank. And now they have created the fourth largest banking conglomeration in Japan. It's the fourth largest banking system. And so now Greg still has his account, his Niigata account still there in his home, in his other prefecture. And so he's changing his address, and there his shicho, and then Japanese, his bank book and all of his information. So
this is my
can't see it, Greg. It's very difficult.
Yeah, it is. You know what? Let me change the camera again. Sorry.
Maybe put it against your body. There. I can see it when it's against your body. There it is.
Okay, so this is the post office bank, the Yucho, and this is a cash card for that. I got this in Shibata, just a block from, or just like right down the street from Castletown. I got this card there. That's where I signed up for this account. And
we should say the former Castletown.
That's right. But this is my bank book. And
so what Japan, just everyone else in the States knows, Japan, the post office is has its own banking system. So you can go around Japan and have access to your money if your money goes into the bank.
Yeah, if you have a postal bank account.
Bank account. But with the Daishi Hokuetsu, you can still access it through other link banks. It's similar to the system in America. And Greg is showing his bank book. We still have the machines where you feed the book in the machine and it'll print out your update and stuff. But that's one thing that's going to change also. Probably within the next 5 years, they're trying to eliminate the bank books.
That's too bad, because I love them.
Because that's one of the things of this Daishi Bank thing, is they want to eliminate the bank books and system and go to completely online, either using ATM or online banking system. They're trying to go to a cashless system here in Asia because most Asian countries are cashless now. Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, and China have all probably almost 80% of their banking systems are all cashless now. And I'm not sure about the States because I don't have an account in the States that I will confess to. So, but basically, they're when you go to Korea, you do everything. Especially, I know my Korean friends and stuff. They do everything on their cell phones. Their whole banking system is here. So when they need to go to the bank or whatever, they just scan their phones. The phone will do it, and they get the reports. When you order food, you use your phone. You get receipts to your phone. You get mail. Everything's done through the phone. It's complete network, and they're all 5G in Korea, South Korea, that is. North Korea, I'm not sure what G they are.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to take a paper into my job, and because they deposit your salary in Japan directly in the bank, and I had to take in the name change paper and still put it in this account, which is called in this bank, which is now called blah blah. Did you have to do that, Greg? Did you have to go to your work?
Yeah.
No, okay. Yeah.
Now NSG, the corporate head that runs the school that I'm working at, this year instituted a completely online payment system. So now I don't get any, like Greg, remember when you worked for me, I used to give you a blue slip, like a W-2.
That's right.
At the end of every month. You got one I put in your box, right?
Yeah.
Those are gone now. We completely online. So I have an account, and then I can access it on my phone if I want.
I can do the same thing. I have an account, so I have a PDF that tells me pay stub.
No papers, completely. There's no receipts. Everything's online. So
you'd have to print it if you wanted a hard copy.
If you want a copy, you have to print it. But
I don't get any paper either. I get a PDF in the email. Actually, it's a link.
We don't get a PDF. All we have is the account number, and it goes to the accounting system, and we just see it. If you want it, then you have to go through their steps to print it out. But on that, they don't send you anything. If you want to know you get paid, you have to access it and check it out. So the problem is that of course, with new systems, they haven't worked out all the bugs. So, for example, me and two other teachers, for some reason, the passwords that they gave us don't work anymore. so when I try to check out, did I get paid? It says reject. And so, and so I call we have these, what do you call it? Technician, what's the proper word? The guys who have to solve your
customer service representatives.
Well, not customers. We're not customers. They're part of our company, so I would call them. Maybe the
tech support.
Tech support. Thank you. Jeez.
Yeah, tech support.
Okay, I call tech support, and the company. I know the acronym. I'll use it. They don't watch the show. JSS is the acronym for the company. So I called JSS and I said, okay, I can't access my account. Did you put the password in? Yes, I did. Oh, did you change the password? No, I didn't. I can't change the password. You gave me the password. Oh, that's right. Okay, well, let's try it. Ooh, it doesn't work. I just called to tell you that it doesn't work. Yes. Okay. Well, okay. Did you change the password? No, I didn't change it. It's like an Abbott and Costello routine. We're just going.
Who's on first?
Who's on first? Yeah. So, just a moment. They put me on hold. Then I listened to, da, 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 and then a woman comes. Hi. And she goes, and I go, oh, hi. I tell her my information. So did you change your password? We go through anyway, but this has been going on for 3 months now.
Oh no!
And nobody can tell me either it's a password glitch or is it a system glitch, or do they have to just reset it and let me go in? Nobody has that authority or that knowledge yet. So anyway, it doesn't matter because I go to the bank, because as Greg showed you, you get your little bank book. I still go to the machine, feed it in, zzz, 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 print. Yes, I got paid. Okay, thank you. All right, that's all I need to know.
Yeah.
So much for the convenience. So
yeah, I know.
I was just thinking about that though. I don't know how they can get rid of unless they just give you a paper receipt when you get your money from the ATM. I mean,
that's
to me,
it. That's they don't give you a paper receipt. You put the book in and it prints it and it shows you. I know,
but if they get rid of the book, because to me, it's like I don't need the receipt if I have my book.
It'll be on,
and it just
It'll be linked to here.
Yeah.
So you have to.
I like some kind of paper for some things because, I don't keep the paper every time I go out and take out, $100 for the week or whatever, and that doesn't bother me. But there are certain times that I need, I need a paper because it's a big transaction and I want to make sure it went, or I moved money from America or, here to America. You know what I'm saying?
This is what the new Prime Minister Suga wanted to change the Honko. Greg and I talked last night about the Honko.
Oh, yeah, we should get rid of that.
Well, get rid of this. And the other part of it is digitizing all these different steps instead of having paper or Honko or this system. They're trying to make everything convenient like this. So,
yeah.
And I understand that. And I think in the long run, it'll be better because it'll be more efficient. But the problem is, and I don't want to sound critical, but in the past, the Japanese government has never been efficient.
Yeah.
The bureaucracy is so heavy. And right now, Suga wants to cut bureaucracy. And it's like, I don't recall in my 30 years here of anybody saying we're going to cut a bureaucracy. They've always created more bureaucracy.
Right.
So to cut the bureaucracy of Japan, if it's successful, if he can do that, man, this country would start to zoom.
Oh, it would be a superpower because we're doing a lot of needless red tape here. We do a lot of needless, I think, ceremony. Now, a lot of the ceremony, I think, is very good and respectful, but there's a lot of overly done. And, my joke is the opening ceremony for the opening ceremony for the opening ceremony. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like the Honko and the paperwork, there's a lot of just duplicate stuff and overly done and overly, just multiple copies times filings, there's so much room for streamlining. On one hand, I get it because, we all have our one part of life where we have too many copies of whatever or stored too many, backup, packages of whatever. And I get it. But when you're talking about a whole government running like that, I mean, it's just amazing. The paperwork, it's amazing.
But if they can streamline it, if this country can streamline, because there is still a lot of growth here. And
they'll leave other countries in the dust economically. Everybody will be running to catch up with them if they can just throw down the extra, superfluous.
Yeah, we're carrying a lot of extra weight and we don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
It protected Japan for a long time. I understand that, but but now, well, anyway, we're gonna have to cut this short because I know that Gerard, you have some business to take care of with your family.
I gotta get ready.
And Greg too, you have some business to take care of with your family soon. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna end it now. We're gonna end this Musings number 15 from Japan, and thank you, Gerard, very much for coming. And
yes, thank you
for inviting me, and good to see you, Greg. It's been too long.
Too long, but I'll come up to Niigata soon.
Half price Shinkansen, Greg. Come on.
Half price from Tokyo, and and then my favorite Niigata station is going to be all new soon.
Oh, wonderful!
Yeah.
And just before we end, just everyone to be careful because yesterday in Shibata City, where I live, there was a case of COVID.
Okay.
So we have one case in Niigata yesterday, and it happens to be somewhere around the neighborhood. I don't know. So everyone be careful out there. The COVID, wear your mask. I've still got my government mask around here someplace.
Yeah.
And anyway, so
our Abe masks.
Anyway, so Abe masks. So take care. Thank you, Gerard. We'll have a Gerard part 2 if you guys like it. We'll have him part 3 even. So maybe we'll bring on Anders and we'll have some music. So, and Gerard, do you have any requests for our ending themes? Like Anders, we put on his band. Do you have a request? I can just throw. Your microphone went out. What happened?
Your jazz music. Anything good jazz that you like, Mark?
Okay.
I got a suggestion. How about My Way?
Yeah, that's good too.
Okay, I'll put a little bit of Gerard singing with our big band My Way. So
wonderful.
okay.
I'd love that.
Okay. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone. Okay.
Right. Thank you, everybody.
Musings from Japan 15. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hang on. Don't hang up. Hey.